Hi, I'm Len Berman, and this is my brand new kids book, The 25 Greatest Baseball Players of All Time. Baseball is the universal sport, the national pastime. I know that football is huge and NASCAR has made amazing inroads, but I think baseball is much more a generational sport. So fathers and sons and grandfathers and kids and family stories about seeing Babe Ruth or Joe DiMaggio play. It seems to happen more in baseball than in the other sports. How do you choose the 25 greatest baseball players of all time? So what I did was I basically punted. Now, I know that's a football term. So I decided I couldn't do it. I wrote down on a piece of paper and I came up with, right off the top of my head, over 30 names. So I enlisted a blue ribbon panel. Former players, great journalists, front office executive, and I said to them, just pick the 25 greatest. Could be different eras, doesn't have to be by position. So I really left it in the hands of a blue ribbon panel, and all I did was total up the votes at the end. And there were some major surprises and some major omissions. The most surprising thing to me is that Sandy Koufax and maybe to just a slightly lesser extent Roberto Clemente are not considered the two of the 25 greatest baseball players of all time. The people on the panel felt that Sandy Koufax's career was just too short. He was just a meteor that went across the sky but retired at a young age because of an arm injury. The irony is, if you had to pick one pitcher when you needed a victory the most, that pitcher would probably be Sandy Koufax. Yogi Berra, despite winning 10 World Series rings, nobody's won more. He's not in the book either. Nolan Ryan, 6 no-hitters, he's not there. But when you get down to just the number of 25, it gets very narrow at the top of the pyramid. There are 2 players in the book who are not in the Hall of Fame. One is Pete Rose, because he is banned from baseball and therefore ineligible for the Hall of Fame. The other is Alex Rodriguez, who's an active player. Both are controversial in their own right. Pete Rose is banned because he bet on baseball as a manager. That's a no-no. That got you banned. It's one of the cardinal rules of baseball, no betting. Nobody has gotten more hits in the history of Major League Baseball than Pete Rose. Alex Rodriguez is another tricky question. The only active player in the book. He has admitted to steroid use. So this being a kid's book, how do we deal with that? And my decision was to deal with it head on. He admitted to using steroids. It did not prevent the panel from feeling he was still one of the 25 greatest baseball players of all time. We did not rank the players 1 through 25. I chose the number 1 baseball player of all time, and that, of course, is Babe Ruth. Not only was he a remarkable slugger, maybe single-handedly helped save the baseball after a betting scandal, the sport of baseball after a betting scandal in 1919. But aside from his amazing home run totals, he was one of the best pitchers of all time. He was a pitcher in his early career. So he's phenomenal. He's the number 1 baseball player of all time. But the most inspirational baseball player of all time, it's not even close, it's a slam dunk, is Jackie Robinson. For the first half of the 20th century, Babe Ruth and everyone else just played against fellow white players. Jackie Robinson broke the color line. He did it effectively. He's a great player. He's in this book, so he ranks as a marvelous athlete, not only because of his skills. He played 4 sports at UCLA in addition to just being a baseball player. But his character was just remarkable. And you sum it up this way: Babe Ruth changed baseball. Jackie Robinson changed America.